night. Let's see here. So I'm gonna pull up some of our like eye shape stuff. And actually a lot of this is what we do at the clinic. So it's probably good for you guys to kind of see it. And Carrie is gonna be like, I just saw this stuff that, this last time or this last weekend. So she might be a little bit bored by it, but that's okay. I know she'll hang out with us anyways. All right, so I'm gonna share our screen again. And I am going to pull up some charts here. So the first one I'm going to pull up is going to be application tips for 6 different eye shapes. Can everybody hear me? Anyone that's not on mute, can you just say yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. All right, perfect. So the first shape that you guys can see here is standard eyes. And when you're looking at women, what you want to pay attention to is that they're going to be standard eyes, honestly, if they don't fit the other categories, basically. So the second option is close set eyes, and this is going to mean that you could not fit another eye in between her eyes, okay? So that means that her eyes are close set. Wide set means you could fit like an eye and a half in between her eyes. So they're a little bit wider set on her head. Deep set means that you can kind of see her brow bone protruding forward a little bit, and it almost casts like a little bit of a shadow, like on the crease area of the eye. So that's deep set. Hooded eyes, I have hooded eyes, so it pretty much means you don't have a crease in your eye. So it's kind of the opposite of deep set eyes. It's like your eyes are not, that brow bone is not protruding, and you don't really have much of a crease there. And then Asian eyes, I think we all kind of get the idea of what an Asian eye is, a person that is of that background and that ethnicity, and you can really see that when somebody has an Asian eye. And I'm also going to pull up here. So this is an example of just a look I did. And this was on my Instagram a while back, but so this is the perfect example of doing eye makeup specifically for your eye type. So if you guys look on my left eye, I did the makeup correctly. And on my right eye, I did it like I used to do my makeup before I learned how to do it the right way. And you can really see in this bottom picture, this bottom right-hand picture, you can really see like on the left side, how my eye just looks bigger and more open, and on the right side it looks a bit more closed off because I don't have that natural crease in my eye. So I'm almost creating a crease by where I put my eyeshadow. Okay, so I also want to kind of walk through, this chart has every eye shape. Oh, I thought that was going to actually come up bigger. I wonder if I can make it bigger. This is why I love my Mac computer, because I can do weird things like this. Okay, so we're going to look at these kind of each step by step. So the first one on here is going to be the standard eye color application. So if a woman has standard eyes, it means she could fit an eye like perfectly in between her eyes, and her eyes are not hooded, they're not Asian, and they're not deep set, okay? So if all else fails, and you don't remember, go with the first one. So go with eye color for standard eyes. And when we say highlighter shade, if you guys know any of our eyeshadows, for the most part, Caucasian women do well with like Moonstone, Honey Spice. And actually, if you're getting into a little bit of darker skin tones, you're going to go with a little bit darker, even like an Amber Blaze would work for this. Also, Honey Spice can usually work. So you're going to put that highlight shade up in that top brow, and then also, doesn't have it on here, but I would do a little bit on the inner corner as well with the first shade, that highlight shade. So just highlighting the outer and inner. Now, when you come down to close set eye color application, the thing that's going to change is that you want to highlight and keep your highlight color on the inside, and you don't want to bring the dark colors in too close to the nose. So anything you highlight brings it forward. So you're almost making the eyes appear further apart because you're highlighting more in that area. So that's kind of how that works. And then deep set always confuses me. I always forget, but on deep set eyes, you really want to highlight the lid, and you do not highlight the brow bone because it's already coming forward a bit. So you actually want to take that away from the eye by using your mid-tone color to darken and contour that a little bit. And then your accent color is going to kind of be a small area, that number 3 in the outer corner. Hooded eye application, I can show you a little bit more about that, but the biggest difference with a hooded eye is that you want to keep your accent color up higher on the eye. So when your eyes are open, if you have hooded eyes, you want to still be able to see your accent color. And if you apply it like you would apply it in the others, you're not going to see it as prevalently. And then for wide set eyes, you're going to actually bring your darker colors in towards the nose a little bit more to make them appear closer together. So those are just some of the real specifics on that. I'm going to come back here and stop our share for a second. So does anybody have questions on that, just the specifics of how to pick out an eye shape, what I mean by highlight, midtone, accent colors? Anybody have questions on those? You guys are like all my pros on this stuff. I was going to tell you too, so this is another little tip that I would not know if I did not have hooded eyes, but I always have to keep a darker color on my eyes. So you guys may or may not remember this, but there was the color palette Neapolitan. So it was a brown, a pink, and kind of like a moonstony, like white shimmer. Does anybody remember that color palette? We probably still have it, it's just discontinued now, the Neapolitan. And it was beautiful and it was gorgeous. And I would see it all the time on Pinterest and this pretty eye look. And I tried doing it like multiple times to get it to look like that. And it just is not good on a hooded eye because you need a color dark enough to create that crease appearance. So even like the one spring color palette that we have out for springtime, one of them was like blue and purple and the other one was like a pink and an orange. And so I should have brought these to show you, but the pink and the orange one, again, it's not dark enough for a hooded eye. Like it did not look great on me. So that's just kind of like a little tip. And as I'm looking at you guys think that you know what your eye shape is personally? Everybody know? All right, so tell us what your eye shapes are. Unmute yourself really quick and just tell us what your eye shape is.
Hooded?
See, I am going to be really bad at this because on the computer screen, I can't tell at all. I've never thought you had hooded eyes, Marissa, but maybe you do.
What would you have thought?
No, I would have said standard for you, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think they look hooded.
No?
Mm-mm.
Okay, standard.
You see, Marissa, how my eyes like you really cannot see. There's like no skin showing when my eyes are open.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
hooded eye. It's a little bit like an Asian eye. Like sometimes they can be confused, minus the fact that I don't look Asian. Nothing about me looks Asian. So sometimes it can be confused with that.
Okay.
Anybody else want to pipe in?
Leslie, while I'm still unmuted, will you post those things that you just showed us?
Yes. I will
Okay,
do
thanks.
that. I will post those eye shapes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, who else wants to tell us their eye shape, if you know it?
Well, we both have hooded. Emily has a little bit more of like the front part of her lid that shows, but there's still a bit of a hood there.
Get really close to the computer really quick so we can see. It's a little bit dark on your end still, so it's hard, but
Yeah, sorry.
there we go. Okay, now I can see it.
Yeah, I have like kind of that Asian eye look too. Like people have said to me before, like, do you have Asian in you? Because the way my hood is, but that makes sense what you were saying about the color. So even the palette that has the blue, purple, green, and that really shimmery color. I've just been putting the purple on the last 2 days, and I was like, my eyes still just look kind of off. Like there's like something off about it. And I think it's still because that purple is not dark enough. But it's a red violet versus a blue violet. Blue violets tend to be a little bit more dark. And so those ones I think often like create that like crease a little bit more.
That makes sense. All right, Emily, get closer. Close up. Oh yeah, I can see the hooded a little bit. But yeah, a little bit less than yours, but still. Yeah. Her eyes are a little bit more rounded, whereas yours are a little bit more almond shaped, I would say.
Squinty.
All right, Carrie, how about you?
I think standard.
Yeah, I would say standard for yours. The one that's not on there, actually, I don't think it was on there. Maybe it was and I missed it, is prominent. And that just means that your eyes, I wish one of you guys had prominent eyes, but I don't really think any of you do. Melissa, what did I tell you you had? Do you remember?
I don't know. I think it's deep.
Okay, that makes sense. I can kind of, okay.
I don't think it's hooded.
No, not hooded. Get close. Get a little closer to your phone or whatever you're on. Yeah, not hooded. I could see deep set. It's hard to tell, like at the angle I'm at, if you're deep set, but I could see that.
Because you said that I should only have the dark like on the little bit like on the edge because of that. Because if I like put dark up here, it just looks ridiculous. So I think that it matched with the deep thing too.
Okay, cool. All right, Mom, how about you?
I guess I'm standard. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you
You
might be a
think?
little bit close set from what I can remember.
Mm.
But other than that, maybe a little bit hooded too. Not as hooded as my eyes, but a little bit.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, your dad is Asian. Never.
Not funny. Not funny. We always joke that my parents both have really dark hair like my mom, and I came out blonde hair, blue eyes, and they were like, I'm still not 100% sure they're both my parents. So that's to be continued. We'll keep that story going, but it's just a funny little joke. Okay, so eye shape is really important though. So when you watch those YouTube videos and you try to do that look, a lot of times you're just not going to look like that YouTube video model because your eye shape is different. So it helps you a lot when you're out at your appointments to talk about eye shape and kind of explain it, because your customers probably don't know anything about eye shape or what that means or how they should apply their shadow. So this is a tip that's really going to help you with every single one of your appointments. And even those eye charts that I just showed you at the makeup clinic, I give them their eye chart and I circle their eye shape. And they can take that home with them. So it will just be a reminder to them when they forget 2 hours after they get home, they have that little chart and they can keep it in front of them when they're doing their makeup in the bathroom the next day. So that's just kind of like a fun little thing. So I'll make sure I post that so you guys can have that for the next